Warning, the following video contains spoilers for this past Monday's Raw. If you have not seen Raw, please turn away now. This is your final warning. I'm not kidding. Turn back now and come back later. Enjoy the video.
A couple of great matches, a great opening segment, and the top two title matches have been named for the upcoming Clash of the Champions pay-per-view in just a couple of weeks. These are my top 5 favorite moments from Monday Night Raw. What's going on, everybody? My name is Brandon Chair Craven, and welcome to yet another edition of my top 5 favorite moments from Monday Night Raw. This time it is for, and I'm checking my calendar once again, 9/5/2016. So without further ado, let's get going. Don't judge me, people. Just don't. Number 5 this week, Bayley versus Charlotte. As always, great match by the women. However, lately they haven't been as impressive. My opinion is because they haven't gotten as much television time as they used to. So, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. Number 4 this week, Sasha Banks makes a statement. She's coming for Charlotte's title at Clash of the Champions. Which begs the question, though, what happens to Charlotte and Bayley at the pay-per-view? Because they made no mention of it last night on Monday Night Raw. So that begs the question, what's going to happen there? Number 3 this week, Y2J Chris Jericho versus Seth Rollins. Absolutely fantastic match. I've always said it. Chris Jericho could not have a bad match when you put him up against anybody. He can make anybody look good. Coming up just short this week at number 2, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Good main event match. Not great, but it still was a pretty good match considering they're just coming off the Fatal 4-Way match they had last week for the Universal title. And my number 1 pick for this week, the opening segment with Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Stephanie McMahon, and Mick Foley. It was a big celebration for Kevin Owens as he's the new Universal Champion. Stephanie wanted to kiss his butt. Go figure. Anyway, and then Seth Rollins came out and they cut a promo. He cut a promo on Stephanie trying to get to the bottom of what happened last week with Triple H. Kevin Owens got in his face and then they proceeded to fight. Stephanie originally suspended him. And then Mick Foley said, no, you're not suspended. As a matter of fact, you're going to get a match against Kevin Owens at Clash of Champions for the Universal title. So that is our second title match that's been announced as of last night for Clash of Champions. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the Universal title. The other one was apparently, I'm guessing, Charlotte versus Sasha Banks, the rematch from SummerSlam for the women's title. We'll see what happens with Bayley. We'll see what happens with all that coming around. So anyway, let's get to some honorable mentions this week. Honorable mentions this week. I've got 2 of them. The first one, Enzo and Cass versus the Shining Stars. Surprising to see that Enzo and Cass actually lost to the Shining Stars. That really surprised me. But as always, it's Enzo and Cass. They're going to do great on the mic. Really showing great in-ring work as well. So, good job. My second honorable mention for this week, the New Day versus the Old Day. Still not a fan of the Juvenile, Gallows and Anderson. Still not a fan of that, but the segment overall was great with the New Day and the Old Day. That was hilarious with Big E getting hit over the back with that cane and then him just kind of flinching it off like, wait a minute, stop. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's hilarious. Let's look at some pros and cons for this week. Pros for this week. Good story progression once again. The story with Stephanie that she is shrouded in mystery. Did she know about Triple H? Did she not? We'll see. Also, great story progression with Dana Brooke and Charlotte as well. That's really turning into something. I think they're going to possibly turn Dana Brooke face, which, we'll see. My cons for this week. Who is the bad guy and who is the good guy with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins? They never fully established it. I think they're going to lead more towards Kevin Owens being the bad guy, being the more corporate heel, and Seth Rollins kind of being more of that in-betweener, babyface, cocky heel type character where he's kind of a face, but he's kind of a heel, but he's really cocky about it. So I think that's how they're going to go, but they never really established who was the good guy and who was the bad guy, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments who you think is the good guy and who you think is the bad guy. And finally, my other con for this week, Roman Reigns in the main event picture once again. What happened with him and Rusev? I really, really liked that storyline. Now, granted, I think Rusev and Lana are on their honeymoon. So, maybe this is just a gap filler for Roman. We'll see next week because he's in the main event with Kevin Owens. And if he wins, the main event match at Clash of Champions will be a triple threat between Roman, Seth, and KO. So, we'll see. And that's going to do it for my top 5 favorite moments from Monday Night Raw for this week. Check back tomorrow for my top 5 moments from SmackDown Live coming up tomorrow because that will be happening tonight. And if you haven't yet, go check out my SummerSlam review. It came out last week, finally, after a little bit of a delay. Like I said, I do apologize. I was working on graphics for a long, long time with that one. But go check that out. I'll put the link here, not over there, over here. Go check that out. Do me a favor, go watch that if you haven't. I hope you guys really enjoyed it because I really enjoyed doing it and doing all the graphics for it. But that's going to do it for me for my top 5 favorite moments from Monday Night Raw for this week. Check back tomorrow, like I said, for my top 5 favorite moments from SmackDown Live. Until then, God bless you. My name is Brandon Duchair Craven. I'll see you tomorrow right here on the Rollins Wrestling Review YouTube channel. Later.